What up? What up? What's up, bitches? Day 3 of draft week. Here we go. Getting closer and closer. 3 more days. Draft day, baby. Today I'm just gonna go over wide receivers, um, QBs, and running backs for the other 2 days. If you like and subscribe, you'd see those videos. But yeah, I'm gonna go over the wide receivers from again ESPN, Fantasy Pros, and Yahoo. All right. So let's start with Yahoo wide receivers. We go from 20 to 11 and then 10 to first. Um, so number 20, you got Jalen Waddle, 19, DK Metcalf, 18, DJ Moore, 17, Nico Collins, 16, Debo Samuel, 15, Cooper Cup, 14, Brandon Ayuk, 13, Chris Olave, 12th, Mike Evans, and 11th, we got Drake London. Um, this is the year for Drake London. New quarterback, new offense. Maybe air it out a little bit more, especially with Kirk Cousins. Um, he should have a good year. Like I said, I know he's been had shitty quarterbacks before, shitty play calling. Still did okay in those years, but maybe this is the year he finally blows up. Number 12, Mike Evans. I mean, last year I thought he wasn't gonna do shit. He was gonna fall off or whatever. But he had another 1,000-yard season. Did well with Baker. Now second year with Baker, maybe they're getting a little more comfortable with each other, know each other's tendencies, and maybe he could still be a decent wide receiver too. Chris Olave at 13. I thought last year was going to be his year, but he didn't have that rapport with Derek Carr. I heard he's been working out with him in the offseason. So maybe a little bit better chemistry this year with him. There's really no one else over there except for like Rashid Shaheed, but he's more of a speedster. Chris Olave is more of like the PPR, reception guy. Michael Thomas is gone. Not like he was ever there. 14, Brandon Ayuk. I wouldn't put him here. I mean, I've never been a fan of Ayuk. I think he's always been boomer bust. Um, he doesn't get like the the targets that Deebo Samuel does or Christian McCaffrey because I think those are the main guys in San Francisco. And then if he goes to let's say Pittsburgh, even worse quarterback, and also new offense, new quarterback. I don't think he'll do well. 15, Cooper Cup. I hear he's healthier, but he is older. Who knows? Maybe those injuries catch up to him, especially with Puka Nakua and now like this other rookie they picked up. I forgot his name, Witter or something. He's been blowing up this preseason. Maybe they push the old man to the side. 16, Debo Samuel. Like I said, I feel like he does better than Brandon Ayuk. He's the number one guy there. Um, but the problem with him is he can't stay healthy. Hasn't finished a season without missing a game. That's the only risk with Debo Samuel. Nico Collins at 17. He just got paid. Should be the wide receiver one for the Texans. I know they brought Diggs in, but I think he's just going to be there for like veteran or whatever and all that stuff. Um, DJ Moore, I'm not really trusting the Bears. I hate that offense. I mean, last year, he blew up with Justin Fields, but I mean, new quarterback, and I don't think this guy's a thrower like that. And I heard he has more of a rapport with Romeo Odunze, but I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm sure DJ Moore is their wide receiver one. And I hear Keenan Allen's looking heavy out there in training camp. So he won't have that much competition, I think, for targets. I don't know. I'm just not feeling DJ Moore. 19 DK Metcalf. I mean, when I had him, he was like the most targeted in the red zone, but that didn't amount to shit when he only had like 5 fucking touchdowns. Um, he still has Geno Smith. They changed coordinators. They changed coach. They might want to get the second year guy. What's his name? Jackson Smith and Jigba. Might want to get him more involved. Maybe he suffers or Tyler Lockett suffers, but one of them is gonna probably decline this year because of that. Maybe, like I said, our RB. I mean, wide receiver 2. Why not flex? Jalen Waddle at 20. I mean, if this stays with Tyreek Hill's hand situation, if it lingers, maybe Jalen Waddle could overtake that number 1 spot. But he also deals with injuries himself. I'm guessing that's why he's down here at 20. Last year he just was inconsistent. Either he was injured, he went in for a bit, came out. A lot of nagging injuries throughout the season. But I mean, a year before that, he was top rookie, broke the record for receptions in a season by a rookie before Puka Nakua did it last year. But I mean, he could strive this season. Like I said, depending on Tyreek Hill's shit and how Tua ends up working out. All right, let's go from 10 to first. All right, so here we go. Number 10 to first. You got Devontae Adams at number 10. Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 9. Puka Nakua, number 8. Garrett Wilson at number 7. A.J. Brown at number 6. Amon Ra at number 5. Justin Jefferson at 4. Jamar Chase at 3. Tyreek Hill at 2. And number 1, CeeDee Lamb. Devontae Adams, I mean, with Gardner Minshew under center, I mean, he did do well with Michael Pittman, so I don't see why Devontae Adams wouldn't be able to do well. I mean, I don't think he'll do wide receiver 1 numbers with Minshew, but yeah, I wouldn't have him at number 10. I think I'd drop him down. I think I'd put Drake London and Olave over him just because of upside. Um, Number 9, Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know if they're putting him up so high if he hasn't really done anything. I mean, I get it. He was a top receiver drafted, but I mean, I haven't seen shit from him in the preseason. I haven't seen anything that he's this great receiver besides highlights from college. But again, those are just highlights. I mean, I haven't seen a full game with him in it. Number 8, Puka Nakua. I mean, he's dealing with something, so hamstring stuff can linger. Um, or I think it's a knee. I'm not sure. I mean, McVay said he should be fine by the start of the season, so if you want to believe McVay. Uh, Garrett Wilson, number 7. I could see that. I mean, with Aaron Rodgers back, if he stays healthy, I mean, I've seen practice highlights and it looked pretty well. Pretty good. Pretty well. Stay away. Pretty good. Um, let's see. So I mean, he could bump up to like wide receiver 1. Uh, Number 6, AJ Brown. I mean, he does good. I think last year he had like a streak of 100-yard games. Problem with him was just no touchdowns. He'd get like tackled. um, but I mean, that's not bad, if you get that consistency from him with receptions and then 100 yards a game. Number 5, I'm on Ross St. Brown. Consistent. Last year, I mean, he was double digits every game. Even though he was injured, apparently, according to like that documentary thing that they were doing on Netflix, that he was injured and shit. But I mean, he's solid. I'm on Raw. Maybe he makes that jump, goes up to like the top 2 or 3 next year. Number 4, Justin Jefferson just got paid, but you got Sam Darnold as your quarterback. I mean, Jordan Addison's injured. I just don't think Darnold could get him the ball like that. Who knows? Maybe it's a different Sam Darnold. Um, I don't know. I just wouldn't trust it, especially as my number one pick. Like go with risk as my number one. Number 3, Jamar Chase. They're saying something about he's holding out. This is news to me. I haven't heard shit from this, but because he has about 2 years left on his contract, so I don't know why he's holding out. He's gonna have to play. Um, I'd put Amon Ra and AJ Brown over Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. I'd switch that. Just more of like not risk. Just I get they're talented and everything, but just little shit that could affect them is what strays me away from them. Tyreek Hill, like I said, he has a hand thing, but I mean, I don't see them. I don't see why he should struggle. I think he was injured last year too. Also, I mean, he's getting up there in age too, so maybe this is a time when his injuries start creeping in. And number 1, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, last I read was that they're gonna get a deal done before the start of the season. Maybe. I mean, he was fucking blowing up last year. So I don't see why he wouldn't do good this year, especially with no competition. I mean, Brandon Cooks, I think, and then he just got injured also. Um, I mean, I'd take him number 1, but there's also, like I said, there's a risk if he sits out and fucking we had a Le'Veon Bell situation with us. But yeah, I mean, you could flip flop Tyreek Hill at number 1, CeeDee Lamb at number 2, vice versa, because I guess the coach said it's not too serious, that they're just being cautious with it. That's what McDaniel said, the coach for the Miami. Um, but yeah, that's the order. Like I said, I would only change a few things from them, but overall, it's kind of what I would kind of deal with. Uh, let's check out ESPN. All right, so here we go with ESPN's top 20. So I'm just gonna read them off and then kind of see what they changed, and we'll go from there. Um, so at 20, Jalen Waddle, same thing as Yahoo. Uh, 19, Brandon Ayuk. 18, Debo Samuel. 17, Devontae Smith. Okay. 16, DK Metcalf. 15, Nico Collins. 14, Drake London. 13, Mike Evans. 12, Marvin Harrison. Number 11, Michael Pittman Jr. Crazy. Number 10, Chris Olave. 9, Devontae Adams. 8, Garrett Wilson. 7, Puka Nakua. 6, AJ Brown. 5, Justin Jefferson. Number 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 3, Jamar Chase. 2, Tyreek Hill. And number 1, CeeDee Lamb. So yeah, a good amount of changes. Like I said, if you print out different ones, you get different val different rankings. Like I said, right here they're putting Chris Olave at 10, where in the other one he was 14, 13. Um and then they got Michael Pittman here at 11, where in Yahoo Michael Pittman was number 21. So, like I said, a lot of people value people different websites, different people value wide receivers differently. So it's gonna vary where if you're drafting based on their rankings and their whatever they do with if you print out ESPN is different than the one that you print out for Yahoo and Fantasy Pros or whatever else you go with. Um And yeah, Devontae Smith at 17. I mean, I think he's good, but it all depends on what's the tight end? Dallas Goddard. Once he got injured, he blew up. But then when he came back, Devontae Smith went back to being like mediocre. So oh, and right here they got Stephon Diggs at 21 and DJ Moore at 22. See, that's a little bit more for me, where I was like, I don't really care too much for the Bears offense. And I mean, I could be wrong, could end up being wrong. I mean, I've been wrong before. um, yeah, and they moved Marvin Harrison down to 12. Um, Still Devontae Adams in the top 10. Like I said, he might just be consistent for you. I just don't see him as my wide receiver one because, like I said, uh, if I want a wide receiver one, I kind of want an upside. Like I said, like Chris Olave, Drake London, maybe Nico Collins. More rapport with C.J. Stroud, second year. Oh, that's who's missing. Cooper Cup's not on here. Cooper Cup is number 23. I mean, I'd put him over Devontae Smith. Um, Bad, like I said, just and similar at the top. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase. Just Amon Ra and Justin Jefferson are flipped. Like I said, I still put Amon Ra over Chase. I just feel because of the consistency that he brings and the floor that he does. Like he's gonna get his touches. He's gonna get his catches. Um, Besides Sam Laporta, like who else is he gonna throw to? Drinking water. That way, my liver is good for the weekend. um, but yeah, that's pretty much like it's a little bit different. ESPN. I don't really follow them too much like that. I used to when Matthew Berry was there, but now that he went to Roto World and NBC, I kind of listen more to that. So yeah, we'll go to Fantasy Pros. All right, and we move on to Fantasy Pros. Like I said, this one's a little bit more tier based, where it shows you tier one, tier two, tier four, whatever. Um, so in tier one, we have CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Amon Ross St. Brown. So yeah, that pretty much means I think any of those guys could be in the season as number one. Like I said, out of these, the safest one would be Amon Ra, and then CeeDee Lamb, just based on the offense and how good the offense was last year. Um, like I said, with Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, you have a few question marks. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, just as talent base wise, that they wouldn't blow up and give you 20, 30 points a week. But then again, they could bust this year and not give you shit. All right, tier two, which is 6 through 10. You got AJ Brown at number 6, 7 Garrett Wilson, 8 Puka Nakua, 9 Debo Samuel, and 10 Mike Evans. So this one's a little more different. You got Debo Samuel up here and Mike Evans. You don't have Devontae Adams up here, or Marvin Harrison, or Chris Olave. So yeah, I mean, I'm guessing Mike Evans just consistency wise because he's been doing it for a lot. Um, Same thing with AJ Brown. This is this tier. What I'm talking about, that any of these guys can make that jump to tier one. Um, Like I said, Garrett Wilson with Aaron Rodgers being back, I think he has a better chance out of all these guys to kind of jump into that tier one. Garrett Wilson, um, Puka Nakua, if he continues what he was doing last year. But like I said, he's already starting off with a knee injury, not looking good. Um, Debo Samuel, again, never finished the season, injury prone, I guess is what you call him. Mike Evans just always consistently putting up 1,000 yards. Um, like I said, another year with Baker Mayfield should do good. But I mean, him as my wide receiver one, I'd take AJ Brown and Garrett Wilson as my wide receiver ones if that's how I'm gonna start my draft. But yeah, but what falls. And 11 through 20, this is tier 3. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 11, Brandon Ayuk at 12, Drake London at 13, Nico Collins at 14, Chris Olave at 15, DK Metcalf at 16, Devontae Adams at 17, Jalen Waddle 18, 19 DJ Moore, and 20 Cooper Cup. So yeah, Cooper Cup in the top 20. I think he's still top 15. He's getting older too, but if he's healthy and everything, talent wise, he's pretty legit. Won me a ship. um, Waddle at 18. I said I have my reserves on Waddle, but if he can stay healthy, I think he'll do well on that offense. DJ Moore at 19. Metcalf moved up. Ayuk at 12. Like I said, if he goes to another team, um, I don't think he'll do that well. Like I said, no off-season training, no nothing else. Just him going in fresh to a new offense, new team. Yeah, I mean, but who knows? I mean, again, I could be wrong about some of these guys. This is me. Just what I think. um, but yeah, like I said, this one's a little more tier based. It has them breaking down 3, 4, 5, 1. Um, that's it. I don't know. Not sure what you guys end up using, but just be aware of little things like that. Like I said, I think hamstrings are the ones that usually tend to linger throughout the season. I mean, any injury could linger through a season, but yeah, make your own decisions. Don't panic during the draft. Make sure you have a backup if you get sniped for your player. All right, and that's it for me today. Wide receivers. Um, Hopefully you guys are checking out the rankings. If not watching these videos, then at least doing your own research, checking shit out. Um, Mock drafting. But yeah, it's almost here. 3 more days. We draft. Uh, Tomorrow I'll do tight ends. Maybe a special guest will stop by. But we'll see. Peace out, bitches.